Nationalist Spain took 8 states. Okay. Like, the broad socialists are also pretty bad. So I think what I might do is discredit them, because their loyalty is very, very low. This will drop their popularity below 50 as well. Xinjiang joined the Chinese United Front earlier today. China and Xinjiang issued a joint statement. The war against Japan escalates. Zvenovo conspirator exposed. After conducting a thorough investigation and reaching out to a few Zvenovo members loyal to the regime, we've uncovered a military plot to overthrow the government. Among the list of people associated with the conspiracy is the name of one of our most trusted generals, Damian Velchev. Now we must decide what to do with this apparently disloyal individual. Velchev, that's him. Yes, he is a Zvenovo member. He's also not great, so shoot him! Get rid of him at once. Bearing in mind that we can get new generals, really heavily well-trained new generals, dirt cheap. So, purge them all! And we can discredit the socialist leaders again. I think we're going to do that. We're just going to keep on hammering away at them, I think. Illusion to the non-partisan system. Done. So we can do the liberalisation of the trade policies. Limited women's suffrage. Oh, wow, she's good. Dimitrona Ivanova. Women's rights activist. Daily political power gain plus 0.05. Weekly stability plus 0.5. And daily democracy support up. She's very good. Oh, we can also get the Bulgarian irredentalism, which gets rid of the stability penalty. Which will allow us to get the utmost optimization later. That's probably a good idea. Yeah, it is. The other thing that we do need to do is get rid of the military union, so let's do that first. Army experience goes up, army leader cost goes up, training time goes up. This also reduces the political advisor cost. Do all 3 of those, then move over here. Do the plot against Boris. And actually, if we do this path, we could actually join the Allies or do Fate of the Balkans. We are going to be locked out of joining the Germans, though. Which, irredentalism we could do. And I think I quite like doing the world tension early. No, we need to get rid of the... Do I want to get rid of them? How do I want to deal with them? I don't know if they ever stop becoming a problem. Are all the trees this massive? I think Bulgaria's is actually the smallest. So this is Bulgaria's here. Then we've got Greece, which is about the same size. Then we have Turkey's, which is freaking huge. Turkey's is easily the biggest. And then also Yugoslavia's, like I can't ignore them because they've been completely overhauled. About the same size. What's the verdict on Partisan's 1941? I liked it. It definitely has a couple of janky UI things, which I really hope they patch and fix. But it has the potential to be great. Hey Mordred, nice to see you playing Hard to Find 4 again. I mean, I never really put it down. I just wasn't that interested in Kaiserreich for a while. Old World Blues, I was waiting for an update. I've been playing TNO. Italy and the Soviets crying a corner. They're coming. They're coming. Just got to be patient. Paradox have proven to be very slow when it comes to creating new focus trees. I don't know how modders do it so quickly if Paradox is any example. Got a little carried away in playing Raid. How did I enjoy that? I feel weird. It's because it was a surprising game. Like I said, as long as you set expectations that it's a mobile game, it's free to play. It's very good for that. Oh, and someone said that I didn't emphasize the fact that Raid Shadow Legends is free to play. It's free. You don't need to pay for it. And if you would like to try this free game and also help out sponsoring the channel in the process, then you should definitely go and check out Raid Shadow Legends, which you can find linked down there, or you can see the link which Silver Knight just posted up there. Thank you very much for that. And seriously, every single download that we get, which completes the tutorial, helps the channel. And if we hit that 60 download milestone, which I'm very confident we can do, that is a massive payout for me. And then there's another one at 90 and another one at 120. And no jokes, I reckon we can hit that 120. I mean, we've already got 30 plus today. I don't know exactly how many we are on. Again, out of respect for Paradox, I didn't want to list that during this stream. But tomorrow we'll have everything up. All the... oh, no, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's my day off. On... should I stream tomorrow? I could actually do a late stream tomorrow, probably. Seeing as this is out tomorrow, that might not be a bad idea. I might do that. I'll think on it. Paradox has to fact-check everything, make sure they get it right without it being overpowered, biased, and for it to work with the other nations well. Does not break anything, and Paradox also makes new mechanics that other focus tree makers get to use, since it is already made. Kaiserreich is also very slow in the major mechanics they make. Yeah, well, bear in mind that this has no new mechanics. None. This is purely existing stuff which can already happen. Okay, so, what are we doing? We're trying to choose a focus, that's what we're doing. I need to do something about the disloyal people. And the only way that I can get rid of the Zveno is to ban them. We've got to dissolve them. It hurts the army, but a lot of those penalties are going to be removed by the Prussia of the Balkans. So we're going to do this. The Zveno holds too much influence over our officers, and there is a real resentment amongst the ranks after Tsar Boris ousted them from power in 1935. Oh, they were the old government. If we want to avoid a new Zveno coup, we must gather our officers in Sofia and announce the dissolution of the military union. Ah, okay. So they were the military junta that ruled Bulgaria until Boris came back. Now I understand. way it uses decisions for politics is pretty novel, though. Technically existing mechanics, but nothing in vanilla uses it like that. True, but lots of mods did. And in fact, some of the mods may even have done it better. I mean, just look at the politics for the for England in the New Order. That's all through decisions. Spanish Republicans defeated! The Spanish Civil War seems over as remaining Republican forces have capitulated or gone into hiding. Though nationalist leadership has already seized on this and declared the end of the Civil War, experts point to the ever-growing dissent within the nationalist faction itself and argue it may simply be moving on into a new stage. That's a really early Civil War ending. Probably a good thing that we didn't try to join in. Okay, so we got all of those tools done. I think we're going to go for the fuel refining. We may actually need synthetic refineries. Depending on who or what we join, of course. And we should probably start researching tanks. A royal visit to Stara Zagora. Make it happen. Preview how? Because Paradox like me. Right. So we can crush the socialists to get rid of them in the same way. So this Zveno right now has a popularity of 35. We can also ban the far-right organisation, so that's mostly getting rid of the National Social Movement, which right now are still super loyal. Like, we don't have a massive... We have a massive problem with them, but we don't have a massive problem with them. Yeah, I think probably banning the communists is likely a good idea, because then we get rid of their threat as well. Their popularity is still at 35. And they'll lose 10 from this, they'll be down to 25. Despite having been repressed multiple times so far this century, communists still lurk in the shadows, preying on the miserable and outcast to thicken their ranks. It is our duty to finish them off once and for all, by whatever means necessary. And we can now also try to get rid of their generals. Today, Tsar Boris has concluded his visit to Stara Zagora, where the monarch enjoyed a euphoria of the locals gathered to cheer on the royal procession as it progressed through some of the town's most iconic streets. But this visit was not only for the enjoyment of the ordinary people. Lavish banquets, grandiose receptions, and meetings with members of the highest of local elites took place in the days following the arrival of the Tsar. Overall, the visit served its purpose by strengthening ties with wealthiest members of society, and showing the Tsar to the common people as a benevolent ruler close to his subjects. Stability goes up. We'll lose Markov as a general. Which is him. Oh, he's old guard. Pfft, who cares? Gone. Get rid of him. We bribed the right officials. It's just good business. There you go. Okay, we're going to imprison them. What's their popularity? It's still 35. Maybe we should do one more rally against them, just to drop their popularity by another 10. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Just to make sure that there is as little danger here to us as possible. And then we'll imprison their leaders. Alright, here we go. Oh, we can also go after the socialists. No, let's do that after we've done the Zveno leaders. Italy announces claims on Yugoslavian territory. Speaking to the Italian populations along the Dalmatian coast, Benito Mussolini has announced that Italy fully considers Italian-speaking territory in Yugoslavia to be rightful Italian clay. Like the proper Prussians we are, we do not use ships. We build land and march across the sea. So basically, we're the Dutch, is what you're saying. Because that's what it sounds like, what you're saying right there. Oh wow, that means the Dutch are the new Prussians. The Prussians of the North Sea. The operation to capture the leaders of the Zveno has been successful. Several important figures, including Kimon Georgiev himself, have been arrested, dealing a critical blow to the organisation. Gained us a bunch of political power, and their popularity is down to just 10. And this will wipe them out. The Zveno faction has been severely weakened after the capture of its leaders, and it's time to hunt down the remaining members who are still keeping the organisation alive and actively conspiring against us. Alright, communists crushed. So now I kind of feel like we want to get the Branik, because that recruitable population factor and political advisor cost is going to be really nice. So I think we're going to go Branik, women's suffrage, Bulgarian irredentalism, liberalization of trade policies. And at that point, we need to make a decision as to whether we want to do a plot against Boris or depose the Tsar. Oh no, if we've got Branik, we can't depose the Tsar. So it's going to be a plot against Boris or strengthening the royal dictatorship. So it's to keep Boris or not. So, what did we say? We said Branik first. I'm going to save before we do this, because I'm not entirely sure that this isn't going to cut off the other path, because these are mutually opposites. War industry, does that require both? Oh, that requires both! Tsar Boris is giving us a heck of a lot of political power, which is quite nice. We're still going to do the Branik, because there's just a lot of bonuses to this. And also that weekly war support, there's no cap on it. Bogdan Filov has an interesting proposal to found a pro-fascist national youth organisation called Branik, close to the authorities and loyal to the Tsar. Modelled on other German youth organisations, Filov believes that Branik can become massive, providing us with a substantial source of manpower. Boris, Bulgaria, God. Keeping Boris forces us to go the Allies. No, it doesn't. Face of the Bulgarians is also available. Oh, no, you're right. So yes, if we keep Boris, we have to go Allies. But we also get war industry really easily, with quite a lot of extra industry. Like, it's going to be a significant industrialization if we go with Boris. Plus, we get to keep the political power buffs. The Boris from Kaiserreich, he ain't. Kinda upsetting that war industry requires both. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why it requires both. Bit of a weird one. Indian National Congress triumphs in the provincial elections. In the recent local elections, the Indian National Congress has achieved an overwhelming majority on their platform of slow, ordered transition to local government and dominion status in the future. After a successful coup d'etat by the local Nazi party in Vienna, German troops have crossed the Austrian border and taken control of the country. No fighting has been reported, and German soldiers were greeted by cheering crowds in the cities. This is going to be kind of interesting if we do join the Allies with Greece. Be a bit of an Allied outpost here in the Balkans. Interesting. Grand Battle Plan Doctrine. We're going heavy tanks and infantry. It's the most versatile. Unfortunately, we did lose our Master Strategist, which I'm still a little bit miffed about. And I still have no idea why or how. And now thinking about it, do we want to make Popov into a field marshal? Or heck, even Nikolov. Although no, Nikolov's too low a level. We do have a lot of infantry leaders, not very many armor. And it occurs to me that you can do with some more training now that you guys are actually getting guns. Right, destroy them. Zero loyalty, zero popularity. Glorious. Nationalist victory in the Spanish Civil War. Recent weeks have shown tensions rise between the various factions amongst the victorious nationalists, but now, with the banishment of the recalcitrant leaders and the forceful unification of political parties, Francisco Franco appears to have been able to mend these divides, becoming the ultimate caudillo. Salazar looks on in sadness. Mordred hat emote when? How many more bleeding hats do you want? You've already got that one, technically a hat. You've already got that one, that's a hat. And in fact, you got this one. That's a hat. And Helfric. How many more do you need? And you know what? We forgot Wrangle. That's also got a hat. At least 4 more. Huzzah! Alright, Branik has been founded. We can still do liberalisation of trade policies. That's fine. So we're now going to do the limited women's suffrage. And then after this, we're no, because we're going to be replacing him with her. So we're always going to have that daily democracy support, although it does get capped at a certain level. And that cap is actually going to be lower. Bulgarian women call for social progress and equality, and the nationalists have already warned that this fight is not only a women's issue, but a matter of social development and nation building. Therefore, in order to follow the path of progress while preserving full political control, we will grant conditional voting rights to married non-communist women. Hexcarl, thank you very much for the Prime subscription. Welcome to the Maudlings. Good to have you joining us. Thank you for that. Right, we have got tanks. Now, the next question is, do we get better tanks? No, we actually get limited conscription from rebuilding the army. So it doesn't look like we ever need to change that. The other answer is no, we don't get better tanks. So we may as well just go ahead and research the 1934 version. We could start to produce some of those. No, because I still can't edit my units, can I? So how do I get rid of the army restrictions? By doing that. So we need to go here and then here. probably in the next year. The Zveno have been destroyed. For the past few weeks, police forces have been rooting out the remnants of the Zveno, which was already severely weakened and disorganized by the lack of strong leadership after the arrest we made prior to the operation. We can now safely say the Zveno has ceased to exist in Bulgaria, which can only benefit the country and its government. Oh, Zveno was a spirit? Oh, it's this penalty. Gone. Wunderbar. Yep. Okay, so next up, socialists. So let's discredit the broad socialist leaders. Yeah, I haven't really had any need for the political power, and if it comes to it, I can just blow a whole bunch of it on different leaders. But they don't provide any, like, bonuses over time, so no hurry. Get them when we know what we're actually going to be using and fighting with. Although the only other thing that we might want is... Oh no, workers. Not done yet. Can't get it. Now, I think what we are going to do is have a visit to Stara Zagorina again. Got to say, Bulgaria does seem to have a heck of a lot of political power. Tsar Boris visits Stara Zagora. Today, Tsar Boris has concluded his visit to Stara Zagora, where the monarch enjoyed the euphoria of the locals visiting blah 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 blah. That's all what we've seen before. Stability and popularity are non-aligned. So communism is completely wiped out. Fascism is pretty much gone at this point. Democracy is still hovering around 20%, and it will drop slightly, but I think it's going to be around 20% generally. But otherwise, we are very non-aligned. We are very loyal to the Tsar. Whichever Tsar it is that we decide to choose on, of course. This tree is complicated. It's only complicated because of the factional stuff. Okay, we can discredit them again, which is basically going to wipe out the last of their popularity. Democratic opposition forming. Relaxing the restrictions on what sort of anti-Tsar Boris loyalist propaganda can be spread publicly has, predictably, led to an increase in public expressions of dissent. Organised demonstrations and pamphlets are so far found mostly in the academic institutions and some of Bulgaria's more unfortunate areas. There is little doubt that the movement is spreading. The nation's leaders are torn over the issue. Boris, who maintains an iron grip on the party leadership, has little desire to diversify public debate. The first steps have already been taken, however, and there may be no turning back. I mean, Agrarian Union could do with being a little bit more loyal. But piss me off and I'll destroy you. It's that simple. Ban the socialist media, which is done. Socialist popularity is now on 5%. I just need the last little bit to get rid of them completely. So, what do we want to do about the Agrarian Union? As long as you stay loyal, I think it's fine. Silver Knight wants me to drink some tea. Oh, alright then. I mean, we are pseudo-democratic. We're democratic insofar as chat is allowed to vote on stuff. There you go. That's how democratic we are. Here comes the women's suffrage. Done. So now we can do the Bulgarian Irredentalism, which is going to get rid of the second national catastrophe, or rather, change it. And then we can go for liberalisation of trade policies, and at that point we'll need to start making some more decisions. Okay. Bulgarian nationalism calls for the necessity to redraw the Balkan borders in favour of Bulgaria, and even the communists and the Democrats will agree with that. We must emphasise the need to restore Greater Bulgaria, a common goal for all of our people. And with that done, we are now going to switch you for Dimitrana, who gives weekly stability and also political power, and a little bit less democracy support, but we don't need the democracy support anymore. And we waited for the previous focus because that reduces the cost of advisors by 25%. It's great!